Not one, not two, not three, 9 kids from the Colorado Buffs have entered into the transfer portal, which has led the football world going into an absolute frenzy. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, Hightop Sports. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Without further ado, let's break it down. So as you all know, the transfer portal round 2 has opened up this past weekend, and now we will have this open for the next few weeks. So it will be interesting to see. We all know how Coach Prime arrived into Colorado. Says, bring on my luggage. And it's Louie. So he came in hot and heavy, letting everybody know that was there. Look, bring my own people, bring my own dogs. We're going to eat. If you ain't good enough, check the portal. Get out of here. I don't want you. He made it very clear. So for us to see 9 guys enter into the portal, we shouldn't be shocked. We shouldn't be surprised. Now, obviously, you've got people diving into this saying, obviously, it's got to be the culture that he's creating. It's him recording everything. It's very Hollywood. It's how he's coaching, whatever it may be. Everyone's taking it however which way they possibly can. Because with a new guy coming in his first year, typically you see coaches come in a very tiptoe manner. Coach Billy for Florida Gators did that last year. Came in kind of slow. Wanted to make sure he established himself before he put down the hammer. And we saw him put the hammer down midway through the season. And then we saw the X mass it is at the end of the season with 20-plus kids going into the portal. Now, that has been the formula ever since I could remember. Right? Guys come in, coach comes in, they want to be bought into the program, they want the kids to love them, want the program to love them, so they don't necessarily set the tone. Coach Prime has made it very clear that he does not follow your typical blueprint of a head coach and how this process goes. He comes in, let me know what's going on. So again, we should not be surprised here, but for the reasoning that's being, the most common thing that I'm hearing again is due to the fact of the culture, having to earn the numbers. It's a Hollywood style type of mentality. It's because he's too aggressive. It's because of that. When in reality, all that's just a bunch of hoopla. Let's break it down by the 9 guys that are going into the portal. 4 out of the 9 are cornerbacks or safety. I don't think I need to go any further with that. With 4 of the guys that are going are cornerbacks and safety, I think we all know Coach Prime has that position pretty well strapped. Now, obviously, you want depth in those positions, but I think, again, with the transfer portal being what it is, with NIL being what it is, I think you're going to see a lot more of this. So, obviously, kids are going to go somewhere just to where they can sit behind. A lot of these kids being low 3 stars that went to Colorado before Coach Prime went there aren't fitting the scheme anymore. But that's only 4 of the guys. Let's go to the other 5 that are remaining. 2 big positions, one being running back. He's bringing in a kid in 2023 who, hands down, was the fastest running back recruit from 2023 on top of Kavius Smoke from Kentucky. Now, I know it's only 2 running backs. I'm sure there's some more guys on that roster that are going to fill that up. So they are losing a sophomore running back, 6', 225, again, low-end 3-star that was committed to Colorado before Coach Prime. Not that big of a loss, followed by a tight end in Austin Smith. Mind you, they landed a top 10 tight end out of the portal just this past year. Again, I know depth, but this guy was a 0-star coming out of high school. He is now a 3-star. The other positions are linebacker and defensive lineman. Defensive lineman, from what I can tell from what they did in 2023 in the portal, was very thin. Now, I don't know what they've had prior to that, but that was, out of all the positions that did leave, was their thinnest position to this day, and still now is going to look even thinner. Now, the 2 guys they lost were redshirt freshmen, so I'm sure they're very low on the totem pole as is. But if I had to imagine, that's probably going to be a high priority target for Coach Prime in the transfer portal as it has opened up. The reason I wanted to bring all this to light, because the narrative that gets spun with all this, again, it just depends on how people want to utilize it. When Billy at the Florida Gators lost 20, everyone went berserk. But again, if you looked into why those kids were leaving, a lot of it, not too many of it had question marks, right? Meaning there was reasons why they were leaving, and you could see why they left. Whether it was talent, whether it was not fitting into the system, the culture, whatever it may be, right? A lot of it made sense. Again, there's a few guys that are kind of scratching your head like, hey, why are you leaving? And you can make the argument that a few of these guys on this list may have a little bit of a head scratcher. But for the majority of them, you can have pretty much an answer to why they are leaving. Also, too, Coach Prime did something in his first season or his first off season in recruiting in the transfer portal that most first-year head coaches don't accomplish. You ended up with a top 3 transfer portal class, depending on where you look. You had a massive recruiting class for 2023 that had a skyrocketing ending, catapulting yourself into the top 25 recruiting class where you weren't even sniffing the top 50 before that. So they have done a lot of things that, again, that most first-year head coaches don't do. So that speaks back to the beginning of, well, typically coaches don't come in and do all these things. Well, you're right. But those coaches also don't do what Coach Prime has done thus far. I know I'm going to get in the comments of me saying that, oh my gosh, you're obsessed with Coach Prime. I'm already aware of what's going to happen, but I kind of wanted to come in because the noise is being blown out of proportion here with him losing 9 seems a little bit much. Look, from somebody who was a Gator fan, saw it last year, we kind of figured out halfway through these guys weren't going to be a fit. He's figuring that out before halfway through the season. Got to respect it. Get rid of these guys. Let's go to the portal now, and let's fill in this gap, and let's have an entire summer of the team we're going to go in with in that 2024 season, or 2023 season, excuse me. So it's very important. It's huge. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about this entire situation, and what's your game plans for the spring game coming up this Saturday, as I'm sure it's going to be the most watched spring game we've had in a very long time. So make sure you guys like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.